Hello everyone, this is PK Entertainment and we're back again, and here now we have another video for you, and we're going to talk about The Batman and take a quick look at its opening box office weekend within US cinemas and also international markets, and overall assess how successful the movie has been. Now there might be spoilers for the movie itself within this video, so just be aware when going to this overall review. So when we look at the movie's performance in the US cinemas, and it's been reported to have grossed over 129 million within its opening weekend. And when I look at that figure, I think that's a great total for the first weekend. Now, of course, any Batman movie was always going to open big, and perhaps there were some slight concerns over the movie's 3-hour runtime, as it would limit the amount of screenings, and also the film's very serious, brooding tone, which would have made it less accessible overall to general audiences. But a lot of hype was generated from the movie's trailers, promising a gritty, dark detective story. At the very least, giving that perception of a very different Batman film, even though I'd argue it showcases a lot of the elements that we've seen from previous Batman movies before. But I think also the fact that the movie received a very positive reception from both critics and fans, and that always helps to spread good word of mouth and generate good box office numbers. Now, as expected, the film achieved the distinction of being only the second movie in the post-pandemic era to open over $100 million in its opening weekend after Spider-Man No Way Home, which of course opened to a ballistic $260 million opening weekend back in December 2021. Now, of course, there's been many comparisons to Spider-Man No Way Home, given that both Spider-Man and Batman are currently the two most popular superheroes within the modern climate of entertainment. But for me, it's not really an apt comparison, because the Batman was never going to match No Way Home's opening. That movie itself had the ultimate 4-quadrant blockbuster appeal, the established MCU association, and also the fan service hype and excitement of actors of previous Spider-Man films also returning within the film. The Batman itself was a fresh new reboot, having no ties to the existing DC cinematic universe, and was very much a standalone entry, offering no promise of a universe continuation or links to any of the upcoming DC films that we will see later on this year. And whilst it wasn't rated R, its grim tone definitely gave the feeling of a more R-rated movie. The vibes very much that this was a movie far more for older teenagers and adults rather than younger kids. The movie was definitely alienating to certain demographics, so realistically it was never going to achieve the same amount of money that No Way Home did, and it doesn't have to. Despite varying reports, the film was rumoured to be around costing over $100 million in terms of its budget, and even when you factor marketing costs, it still is comparatively far more cheaper than the budgets that we normally see for these comic book movies. So there was never really any pressure, I feel, in terms of the Batman to perform exponentially well at the box office. It just had to generate enough interest and excitement for its standalone story and also a future continuation, which to me it's definitely done overall. And that statement has been proven with the worldwide box office, where it currently stands close to 250 million worldwide. Now, in previous videos, I predicted overall that the film would end up grossing around 800 to 850 million worldwide, just falling short of 1 billion, and I still stand by that statement overall. I just feel that we may see a steep decline in its second and third weekends, as there have been far more divisive reactions to the film following its continued rollout. Some have issued that the film was too long, and they felt that the grim, overbearing tone wasn't really as appealing, and some have noted that they felt this interpretation of the Batman character was a bit bland and one-dimensional. So I still also feel that the movie will end up making more within the US domestic market rather than international territories, but we'll see overall how well it performs in the upcoming weeks. So I suppose overall the last remaining question is, what happens next after this opening weekend? Now, of course, we will get a sequel to this film, no doubt about it. I think that was assured, even I'd say before the opening weekend, given to the overall hype and anticipation surrounding this film. But what will Warner Brothers decide to do in terms of its current DC cinematic universe? Now, of course, if you are invested in many ways into the online community and social media reaction, you of course know there's been a never-ending debate regarding the Snyderverse and its overall continuation or not. But does the Batman success really put the final nail in the coffin for the Snyderverse itself? Now, I personally feel that stage was already reached a while back once this project was actually released and we recasted the role of Batman with Robert Pattinson in the lead role. But will the Snyder fans, who are also major Batman fans, it has to be remembered as well, will they continue to be supportive of this new iteration of the character if Warner Brothers does indeed decide to end the DCEU or the Snyderverse as it is and continue more with Matt Reeves' iteration of the character? It will be interesting to see the further online reactions and feedback as we get into the second, third and fourth week of the movie, and overall see what Warner Brothers decides to do in the future. So we'll wait and see. But overall, a very successful opening for the Batman, once again confirming again how popular the character is. A great achievement for Warner Brothers, and I think once again it does signal how much dominance that we will see, particularly from all of the comic book movies throughout this year, with the likes of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Black Adam and The Flash, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom as well. So those are my overall thoughts and feelings on the Batman's first big opening weekend within both US cinemas and international territories. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think this has been a successful opening weekend for the movie, or do you feel it could have grossed more at the box office? Do you think it's right to compare it to Spider-Man No Way Home, or do you think that the Batman should be merited on its own and that we shouldn't compare it yet to the Marvel movies until we indeed see a second or third sequel in the future? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please also hit and like those subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, stay safe distances, and I will see you very, very soon.